The latest showdown in Australasian rugby had fans buzzing, and not in a good way. The All Blacks faced off against the Wallabies, and what was supposed to be a classic clash turned into a roller coaster of disappointment for Kiwi supporters. Sure, the All Blacks managed to snag a win, finishing at 31-28, but if you watch the game, you know that this performance was far from impressive. It was a reality check for anyone who hoped to see the legendary prowess of New Zealand rugby on full display. If you're a fan of the All Blacks, write "Go All Blacks" in the comments and subscribe to the channel. At first, it felt like the All Blacks were in complete control, racing to a staggering 21-0 lead. But instead of dominating, the Wallabies looked more like a team that was completely intimidated and out of sync. However, as the match wore on, Australia found its footing and started to push back, exposing some glaring weaknesses in the All Blacks' gameplay. It felt like watching men versus boys at times, and not in a good way. Despite the eventual win, there's a growing concern among fans. The All Blacks have been making the same mistakes week after week. Sure, the haka was flawless and the players looked sharp before the game, but what about the actual play? Where's the execution? Where's the improvement? The legacy of the jersey comes with high expectations, and right now it feels like the All Blacks are falling short. Look, you can excuse a clunky performance if there's a solid game plan behind it. But this feels like a team lost in its own identity. While South Africa seems to be planning for the future, developing new talent while keeping a winning edge, the All Blacks seem stuck in a cycle of relying on familiar faces who haven't delivered in recent tournaments. What's the plan here? Are we really just hoping things will magically come together for another World Cup run? It's becoming increasingly clear that while Australia and South Africa are charting their paths forward, the All Blacks are struggling with theirs. Fans are growing restless, watching a team that has racked up 15 test losses in 4 years and has a hard time scoring after halftime. It's a frustrating situation when you can see certain players are underperforming, yet the narrative keeps pushing that they just need more time. And let's be real, time isn't the answer here. A quick win against a struggling Wallabies side won't fix the deeper issues. What the All Blacks need is a change, a serious reassessment of where they're headed and how they plan to get there. In summary, the All Blacks' recent performance raises serious questions about their strategy and execution on the field. Despite the victory, the game highlighted ongoing issues that fans can't ignore. As other teams lay out clear plans for the future, it's time for the All Blacks to step up and show that they're ready to reclaim their legacy. Go All Blacks! All Blacks head coach Scott Robertson has shown a lot of faith in rising star Wallace Satiti, hinting at a possible positional switch for the rookie in the upcoming Bledisloe Cup clash against the Wallabies in Sydney. Satiti, who's been impressive since his international debut, might be moving to a different role on the field this weekend, and it's creating a buzz. If you are a fan of All Blacks, write "Go All Blacks" in the comments and subscribe to the channel to reach the target of 10,000 subscribers. Satiti first made waves when he came on as a replacement during the All Blacks' 47-5 win over Fiji in July. He then stepped up again off the bench in their 38-30 Rugby Championship loss against Argentina. But it was his performance 2 weeks ago against South Africa, where he started for the first time, that got everyone talking. Even though the All Blacks narrowly lost 18-12, Satiti's work rate was top-notch, especially when you consider he played in an unfamiliar position due to an injury in the squad. Normally playing as a number 8, Satiti was asked to play on the blindside flank due to Ethan Blackadder's injury. And wow, did he rise to the occasion. In a tough game environment, Satiti was one of the standout players, proving that he can handle whatever's thrown his way. Despite the loss, his performance earned him plenty of praise, with Coach Robertson being one of his biggest fans. Robertson even hinted that Satiti might not stay at blindside for the whole game against the Wallabies. He's got the ability to rise to the occasion. He's come through quickly and is so diligent, Robertson said. He's a good pro and we've been impressed with him. It's clear that Satiti has caught the eye of Robertson, and he's not the only one. Ardie Savea, the All Blacks vice-captain, has also been super impressed. Savea has taken Satiti under his wing and even sees Satiti's performances as a source of inspiration. According to Savea, Satiti's calm and composed demeanor on and off the field is something that even the senior players admire. We can perceive him as a young fellow, but he's come into this team with so much calmness, even wisdom, Savia said. He's inspiring me in the way he walks and the way he plays. It's been nice watching him in Super Rugby and then being able to play with him. Satiti might get a chance to shift to his preferred position at the base of the scrum, where he's been crushing it for the Chiefs in Super Rugby Pacific. If this happens, we could see Savia moving around in the back row to make room for the young talent. The All Blacks are going into this game looking to bounce back after a rough rugby championship run, having lost 3 of their last 4 matches. Savia thinks this game against the Wallabies is a perfect opportunity to turn things around and show the world what the All Blacks are really made of. Sometimes you get knocked down, but it's how hard you can get back up, Savia said. What a way for this team to show the country that we can bounce back and get our feet on the ground again. The hype around this game is real. Will Robertson stick with Satiti at blindside? Or will we see him switch things up during the match either way? The All Blacks are gearing up for a battle in Sydney, and fans are expecting nothing less than a thrilling performance. And now it's your turn. What do you think of Satiti's rise and Robertson's possible tactical shifts? We'd love to hear your thoughts. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications to stay updated with all the latest All Blacks news. Also, let us know in the comments what you think about the upcoming Bledisloe Cup clash. Who are you backing to come out on top? Title: I'll be the ref, you'll be the 9. Nick White told off by English official during All Blacks clash. Carl Dixon was having none of that from Nick White. English referee Carl Dixon had to put Australia's veteran scrum half, Nick White, in his place during the Rugby Championship and Bledisloe Cup clash between the Wallabies and All Blacks. White, known for his constant chatter on the field like many halfbacks, got a reality check during Saturday's game in Sydney. If you are a fan of All Blacks, go All Blacks in the comments and subscribe to the channel to reach the target of 10,000 subscribers. In the later stages of the game, as the Wallabies attempted a comeback, White wasn't happy with an All Blacks lineout. With the Wallabies trailing 14-31, New Zealand had a lineout inside Australia's 22. Cody Taylor's throw found Artie Savia at the front of the set piece, but White protested, yelling not straight at Dixon and his assistants, hoping they'd call it out. Unfortunately for White, the All Blacks kept the attack going, though the Wallabies eventually turned the ball over and cleared. During the next play, White continued to plead for penalties, especially when he thought Sam Cane entered a ruck illegally. Dixon disagreed and awarded Australia a scrum after an All Blacks knock-on at the lineout. It was then that Dixon had enough and gave White a firm warning, reminding him of his place on the field. "I know you're frustrated, but you don't need to tell me what's happening," Dixon told White. "It'll be the ref, you'll be the 9. If you shout at me again, it'll penalize you. It's your scrum. Thank you, that's enough." White's antics, though common, weren't enough to push the Wallabies to victory. Australia lost 28-31 after a huge fightback effort in the final minutes. It's not the first time White's been scolded by a referee. In an earlier game against the Springboks, New Zealand referee Paul Williams had to tell White to calm down, saying not today after White tried to stir up some trouble with the South African players. Despite his frustrations, White returned to Australia's starting lineup after missing out on the Argentina match, but he couldn't inspire the team to win. Even with standout performances from players like Fraser McReight, the Wallabies fell just short in a thrilling Bledisloe Cup contest. The All Blacks held on, winning a tight 31-28, keeping the Bledisloe Cup safe for another year. Fans of both sides will remember the game not only for the excitement on the scoreboard, but for the fiery exchanges like the one between White and Dixon. Before we wrap up, make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications to stay up to date with all things All Blacks. We're on the road to 10,000 subscribers, and we need your support to get there. What did you think of the game and Nick White's heated moment with the ref? Was Dixon right to shut him down? Or should refs be more tolerant? Share your thoughts in the comments below.